go over the sprint goals and the user stories for the sprint 3 of our capstone project. So the goal for the sprint 3 was an employee shall be able to view his sent messages in the feedback page, and then an employee can view the time of the sent message. An employee can also be able to view to whom the message was addressed in the manager chat view, as well as an employee can view the subject of the message in the header of the chat view. So let's go over to the dashboard and check out user stories one by one. Our first user story was, as a user, I need to see the title of the message thread in the discussion pane so that I shall know what the discussion was about. Was done by Sansarangi, and the task was to add the title of the thread to the header in the discussion view. So let me go to the app and I'll show you. This is the employee view. Whenever an employee starts a new thread, he has to enter the subject, and once the thread has been created, the subject is supposed to appear at the top of the discussion view. So as you can see, the subject thread always appears here. The next task was done by Kirti Jha. It was to add the recipient of the message thread in the head of the discussion view. So in the employee view, the employee must see who he has sent the message to, which is Jim Atwood in our case. So employee, this is the recipient details that is added to the top of the thread. Coming to the next user story, as a user, I need to see the name of the sender in each of the chat message in the discussion pane so that I shall know who has sent the message. So Isan Sorangi, task number 71, add message time in the chat document. You can see the chat time appears at the top of each message. And the next task was to add the sender's name to the chat component. So in our case, the manager 2 is the recipient of this thread. So yeah. The third task, Kirti Jha, store or hide the sender details on the discussion view based on user type. So what this means is, if the user is an employee, he'll see the manager that he's chatting with. But if I switch to manager, manager is not supposed to see. Manager is not supposed to see the two under the subject. Coming to the next user story, as an employee, I shall be able to send a message to my manager so that my manager can view my feedback. So Kumar Prabhu Kalyan, task number 76, it's a backend task to create a muted API, basically to add new threads. Also Samantra, task number 74, add the send icon to send message in the discussion view. Coming to the app, the button at the bottom right describes the task. And then number 72 by Alsa, modify the create message button and dialog box according to the V2 design docs. So this basically touches up on the UI to make it look as similar as to the design docs provided by the sponsor. Then task 67 by Kumar Prabhu, create muted API to save message details to the database. This is again a backend task. Task number 66, add the Apollo client to framework. So basically in this task, the packages and the dependencies for the Apollo client was added to the front end React side. And then this task also included adding up a template so that other GraphQL calls will use the same template to request the backend for data or to send data to the backend. The next task is task number 73, save user type in the context so that their appropriate views can be rendered. So in this task, basically, we have different kinds of user types in our application, and our application views will be rendered based on which user is logged in at the current moment. So as part of this task, the toggle button was added, and also the user type is basically stored in a context variable which can be accessed from any component in the front end. Um, so that's all about the user stories. Now let's go to the burn down chat to look at how it looks. So that was all about our sprint 3. Thank you.